Hey, my lovelies, how are you? Welcome. If it's your first time here, then it's lovely to have you here. Welcome into this what I hope is a very safe space. If you have seen my content before, welcome back. Thank you. It's a privilege to have you back, and thank you for your continued support. I'm kind of struggling today with what to kind of talk about, so I thought I'd just carry on from last week's where we were talking about getting into new relationships. So grab yourself a cuppa, or grab some snacks, whatever. I don't know whether you're kind of sat here having your tea and watching this, or whether it's that kind of time where it's brewing a biscuit. If it is, grab them, put it on pause, grab them, come and sit back down. Let's have a chat. Let's have a chat about dating in today's world. Now, I find this very, very intimidating. As an older lady, I remember the days where you went to the pub, you had a few drinks, you got chatting to people, you had a dance, whatever, went onto a nightclub, whatever, and it kind of went from there, or not, whichever the case may be. But yeah, that was a really, really nice way of doing it, because within the first 10-15 minutes of kind of speaking to somebody, you kind of got, even when you'd had a drink, you kind of got the gist of whether they were a bit of a creep, whether they were a bit slimy. Yeah. Whereas now it's all swipe right, swipe left. I don't really know what goes on these dating sites. I am not subscribed to any of them. So how I'm quite supposed to find another partner, I'm not quite sure, unless it's at the petrol station or nipping into Co-op or something for something I forgot to get on the shopping. But yeah, not quite sure. But I also don't really want to join a dating site, because although there are amazing stories out there of people that are, in long-term relationships, they're getting married, they've got children, they're obviously very settled. So they're either very matched weirdos or it could end quite badly. I just think that's where you get like murderers stalking out. So yeah, dating sites kind of freak me out a little bit. I'd much rather, I was going to say go to the pub and do it the old-fashioned way, but I don't drink anymore. I did dry January, dry January 2022, and I never stopped it. I just carried it on, because I felt so much better without it. So I'm coming up for 3 years of not having alcohol. So yeah, if I did go and do it the old-fashioned way, I'm going to be sat there with either a cup of tea or a lemonade. Do you know what I mean? It's not quite the same as what it was back in the day. But, that's the way that life's going. So let me know if you are of an older age bracket, how you have found the dating game these days. Have you done it the old-fashioned way by meeting somebody either in the pub or at the football, or somewhere where a lot of people go, where you've got a chance of meeting somebody? Or have you done it the new way and met somebody online? I know of somebody who has met his current girlfriend online. It wasn't via a dating app. It was that they just got chatting on Facebook. But they seem quite happy together. Yeah, I just find it quite daunting, quite scary. And obviously you do hear the horror stories more than the fairy tale endings, don't you? So yeah, I just find it quite scary, and I think I find it scarier because of what happened with the ex, and how I don't want to give too much away, but how basically he lied, and just basically to cover things up. And I just think that kind of opened my eyes, because I now know that he met this person through an app. Others that have been involved, I'm presuming he met the same way. Others were local. So it's, yeah, there's not a lot I can say without actually coming out and giving too much away, to be honest. But it now just makes me think that any male out there who could already be involved with somebody who isn't necessarily going to be upfront with you, yeah, and I don't want to get into a situation where somebody is already involved with somebody, if that makes sense. But you can only go off what you are told at the end of the day. I mean, I know people say, oh my God, you get a sense for these things, but sometimes you just don't. But at least I know this time that I go into a relationship, I am going to be going in with my eyes firmly wide open. And obviously my boundaries are well and truly set, which I think is a good tool to have your boundaries well and truly in place. Because then you are making it clear to them what you will accept in a relationship, what you will not accept in a relationship. And I think it's very, very healthy to ascertain that as early as you possibly can do. And then these people know that there's no messing about, is there? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so let me know how you are finding dating. I'm very appreciative of people watching my videos, but people don't seem very interactive. And I want this to be a channel where people can leave comments and other people can jump in and help just as much as me. And I want it to be that kind of community where people help each other. But yeah, none of you are very forthcoming at the moment. And it'd be nice to hear your side of the story of your experiences of dating after the breakdown of a relationship, after divorce, after losing a partner through death. It's all that transition, isn't it? And you know, maybe some, I mean, my nan never got into another relationship once my granddad passed. And everybody's different, you know. She went on for another 30 something years as a single widow. She didn't even look at another man. She wasn't even interested in another man. Even if we were watching TV together and I'd say, oh, he's a bit of all right now, she'd even be reserved in her replies to that, as though she was kind of being unfaithful to him, which I thought was quite sweet. But we're not all, we're not all the same. I can't remember how old my nan would have been when she lost my granddad. Probably late 50s, maybe very early 60s. So not far off the age that I am. I think she was in her 60s. I think. So, yeah. Please, get the courage. Find your bottle. Make some comments down below. Help me out. Tell me, I mean, I'm not asking for details on relationship, it's nothing like that, but just let me know your experience on the dating world today, because if others of you out there, male or female, are a very similar age to me, you're a 60s or a 70s kid, then your dating experience will be very, very similar to mine, and it will have been that you met people. You went out, you got your best clobber on, and you made an effort, and you went out and you went to the pub, and then you went on to a nightclub, and that's where you met your prospective partner, or not, as the case may be. So for those of you who may be a little bit younger, who haven't experienced that are watching this, then let me know kind of what your what your experience as dating has been like since you became the age that you were dating. And for those of that you're older, again, please let me know what you think about the modern day way of looking for a partner, or whether that is a big massive factor in you still being single, because a bit like me, it scares the hell out of you. Yeah, but then again, when you're going out doing your shopping, and you see a bloke walking around doing the shopping, and you just think, is he shopping for a family? Well, no, he's got a basket. Is he just shopping for himself? Or was he shopping earlier on and forgot half the shopping list, so his missus is giving him a right good old bollocking, and he's had to go back out. But a lot of people don't even give eye contact these days when you're out and about. So it's very difficult with people. There's very few people out there who are quite good at talking, unless you've had a few beers down. So there's not really a lot I can say, but again, I just ask you, please, let's get a community going. Let's get a little bit of interaction going here. And there might be other people out there who are watching this and think, oh my God, I'm absolutely in the same boat. Let me know below. And then all it takes is one person to comment, and then somebody else might jump in and say, I felt exactly the same, but I joined such a site, and the people on there all seem to be of a certain age, so they seem okay. I mean, I'm not looking for a 20-odd-year-old. Do you know what I mean? If I wanted that, I'd have had kids. I want someone who's got a bit of something about him, and one, you've got to be able to cook, for one. I've not had one single partner who's ever cooked or told me that they can cook. So I want someone who can cook. I want someone who can do a little bit of DIY. And I want somebody who's got a little bit of something about them. And not just yes ma'am, no ma'am kind of kind of guy. I mean, I'm not saying I want to be up for a row every night, but I want someone who is very similar to me, who has their own boundaries. And sorry, excuse my nails. I'm just doing this video while I'm in the middle of cleaning the oven. It's a job I hate, but job that has to be done. So yeah, nails are a bit rubbish. So yeah, so I want somebody who's got a little bit about them, who's got their own boundaries, and you know, if that boundary is stepped over, that they can go, whoa, 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 oh, hold on a minute here. Do you know what I mean? It's because I truly respect that. I really would. And I hope that that person would respect that in me if I did the same. So yeah, so as much as we'd all love a toy boy, no. And the ex was, he's about 3 years young. He was 3 years younger than me, and he was just one of those who sat and played computer games when he was home. Sat and played FIFA. No, you're adulting now. I'm afraid you are in the years of being an adult. Maybe that's just me. I've never been a gamer. I think the most I've done is I had a Game Boy. I had Tetris and Donkey Kong for it. That was it. Had a go on a Sega Mega Drive years ago. I was a bit like, no, don't see what all the fuss is about. And then I had a PSP when they came out, because it was just a newer version of the Game Boy, wasn't it? And I had quite a few games for that. But it was just something that I picked up when I was like really extremely bored. But yeah, I've never been a gamer. I don't understand why somebody in their late 40s has to spend 8 hours a day playing FIFA instead of doing the jobs that they're supposed to be doing. Yeah. So no gamers on my dating list. That is a no-no. Plus there's so many other things to do. So, and that I think challenge your brain more as well. But I'm very comfortable in my own company. So I have absolutely no issue whatsoever in putting some music on in the background, which unfortunately I can't do while YouTube's on, because I will probably get it taken down for copyright. But I quite often have music on in the background while I'm reading a book, or if I'm doing my crafting, I will always have music on while I'm crafting. Yeah, reading a book, watching documentaries, learning, just learning. Every day should be a skill day. You should be expanding your brain all the time. And there's things that I have discovered now. I'm really proper going off on a tangent today, aren't I? I do apologise. But there are things that I've now got to the age of that I think I wish I'd have paid more attention in school to that, because now I find it quite interesting. But then there's also things that I've kind of learned over the last few years that only gets touched on very, very slightly in school subjects. So for an example, in school you learn about your history, don't you? So you go through your medievals and your War of the Roses and Henry VIII and all that lot. And medieval times, I think it slightly touches, very, very slightly touches on Viking invasion, but only very slightly. So it's not until later years I've kind of learned about the Viking side. Obviously going to York and things like that. I've been to the Jorvik Centre. And I find it very, very interesting. But then it's only because later years I've watched the Vikings series with Ragnar Lothbrok. and Lagatha, and they were the two best looking people on TV. Lagatha was absolutely beautiful, as was Ragnar, to be honest. But I found it very, very interesting, and I know that is all exaggerated for the film, for the series, but there obviously has to be some kind of truth in it to get the information. And I've kind of become a little bit obsessed with Vikings over the years, and so now I'm learning about all that through documentaries, through reading books. We can't all sit and read self-help books all day, can we? But self-help books, they do self-help. What? Self-help books, they really do help you, as long as you buy the book on what it is that you want to have help with, if that makes sense. I think we've all become very conditioned with society from birth, because you're fed your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, and further back, because the chain will go on, because they are passing on to you what was passed on to them from their forefathers and their ancestors. So you're so conditioned, and it's nice to get back to a neutral brain, if you will, and make your own decisions, and learn that people treat you certain ways because of how they've been treated, and how they are probably in survival mode, just things like that. Anyway, I've gone off at a tangent. So let me know your thoughts on dating later in life. I know, going back a few years ago, a lot of people, once they were kind of widowed in the 50s or the 60s, they never did get other partners, they didn't date. But things have changed, and I think a lot of older people are now living younger lives. So I remember when I was a kid, people who were in the 60s looked like they were 80. The way they dressed, the way the hair was, the way they acted. And I mean, you've got people now that are in their 80s that look more like they're in the 60s because of the way they dress. They get their hair coloured. They have it in a more modern style. And they've just got a more younger outlook on life. I think a lot of people we're not going to grow old gracefully. We're going to get as much out of this place on this planet as we can, which is a great outlook on life for sure. So people in the 60s and 70s that have been widowed or divorced, they don't want that to be the end of their life. They want to go on and be happy, possibly with somebody else, or maybe they have just made their mind up that past partners have messed them up so much they never want to get back into that again. So yeah, it's been kind of 2.5 years now, and I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm kind of getting ready. Yeah, I have got certain things going on right now that are taking up my time, but yeah, I am starting to feel like I'm getting ready. So yeah, if you're in the same supermarket as me and I start checking out what you got in your basket, watch out. You might be on my list. So I think we'll leave that there. I will go and see if my oven is ready for its second scrub. Maybe the moral of the story is clean it more often, Mandy. Could be onto something there, love. So I will leave it there, and I will say, if you've got this far, thank you. And if you're liking the content, then give it a thumbs up, share it if you can. Let your friends and family know if you think it's something that they'd like. But yeah, give it a thumbs up. If you're liking my content overall, then please subscribe. It'd mean the world to me to have some more subscribers, and it gets this video out to loads more lovely people just like you. And yeah, let's get this community going. Let's get some comments going, and be kind with your comments, but let's get some comments going. Let's see if we can all help each other through this and get a good community. That's what I want. That's what was the whole purpose of starting this channel was to get a good community where people felt safe to say that they were struggling with something, and for somebody else who has possibly been through similar who could jump in and help out. Just comment or just say, look, you know, it's a bit sensitive to put on here, but I can contact you in other ways or whatever. So yeah, let's do it. Okay, that's your challenge for the week. If there's any topics you want me to cover, again, comment down below. Let me know, and I'll see what I can do. And I'll have a think about, I think maybe next time, maybe we might cover life goals. How about life goals? That might be a good one. So thank you for tuning in again. Thank you for staying this far, if you have done. If you've managed to get to the end, leave me a comment below. If you managed to get to the end, comment. I don't want you to put something simple like I made it through to the end or whatever. Put a comment of I don't know. Just something like balloons or something like that. Something stupid. But yes, comment. Let me know if you've got to the end of the video. If you have, much appreciated. Thank you. Like I say, subscribe, like, do all that jargon like you do with all your other videos. You know what to do by now. And I will, I'll see you in the next one. Don't dim your light for anyone or anything. And stay safe, okay? And I'll see you in the next one. See you soon. Bye, my lovelies.